The rain was falling hard that night when Ethan Cole, one of the youngest self-made millionaires in New York, sat in the back of his chauffeured car, staring at the engagement ring still sitting in his pocket. Just hours earlier, he had walked away from Olivia, the woman he claimed to love, after she told him she was pregnant. He told himself it was because he wasn't ready. Too much responsibility. Too much at stake. In truth, fear had swallowed him whole. Fear of commitment, fear of being vulnerable. Fear that love might take away the empire he had built. And so he left. 4 years passed. Ethan's wealth doubled, his name flashed across magazines, and his company became the definition of success. But deep down, every achievement felt hollow. No one knew about the quiet guilt that haunted him, the memory of Olivia's tear-stained face as he walked out the door. One crisp autumn morning, Ethan stepped out of a cafe in Manhattan, adjusting his suit jacket. That's when he froze. Across the street he saw her. Olivia, she looked stronger, radiant even, with a calm glow he had never noticed before. But what truly shook him were the two little figures holding her hands, twins, a boy and a girl, both with the same hazel eyes he had once fallen in love with. His heart pounded. My children. Ethan's instinct was to run to them, to explain, to beg. But shame glued his feet to the ground. He had given up the right to call himself their father. He thought he had lost his chance forever. Days turned into weeks, yet he couldn't get them out of his mind. One afternoon, fate intervened. As Ethan drove through a quieter part of the city, he spotted Olivia outside a small bookstore. The twins were struggling to carry heavy boxes inside. Without thinking, Ethan pulled over, loosened his tie, and walked across the street. "Need a hand?" he asked gently. Olivia looked up, her eyes widening in shock. Silence hung heavy between them until the little boy tugged at her sleeve. "Mommy, he can help." Ethan bent down, smiled at the twins, and effortlessly lifted the boxes. For the first time in years he felt useful, not as a CEO, not as a millionaire, but simply as a man helping children who didn't even know who he was. That day turned into many. Ethan began visiting the bookstore, buying books, helping out, and sometimes reading to the kids. The twins adored him, calling him Mr. Cole. Olivia kept her guard up, but slowly she couldn't deny his sincerity. One evening after closing the store, Olivia finally confronted him. Her voice trembled not with anger but with pain. "Why now, Ethan? Why show up after all these years?" He swallowed hard. "Because I was a coward. I thought money and power made me strong, but walking away from them was the weakest thing I ever did. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I want to be here for them in any way you'll allow." Her tears filled her eyes. For the first time, Olivia saw not the CEO, not the man who had broken her heart, but someone who was trying, truly trying, to be better. The emotional climax came weeks later when the little girl, Lily, fell and scraped her knee outside the store. Ethan rushed to her side, cleaned her cut, and held her hand as she sobbed. Through her tears she whispered, "Thank you, Daddy." The word hit him like lightning. Olivia froze, her lips trembling. She hadn't told them yet, and yet somehow children always know. Ethan's chest ached, but not from guilt this time, from overwhelming gratitude. It was as if life was giving him a second chance he never thought he deserved. From that moment on, Ethan chose kindness over pride, presence over power. He didn't try to erase the past, he couldn't. But he showed up day after day, not as a millionaire CEO, but as a father and a man who had finally learned what truly mattered. And as Olivia watched him bond with the twins, she realized something, too. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means allowing love to rebuild where pain once lived. 4 years earlier, Ethan walked away. But now, with humility and compassion, he walked back, not into perfection, but into a future filled with hope, laughter, and second chances. Because sometimes, the greatest wealth isn't found in bank accounts or boardrooms. It's found in the tiny hands that reach for you, whispering "Daddy" when you least expect it. Ethan couldn't sleep that night. He lay awake in his penthouse, staring at the ceiling, replaying Lily's voice in his mind. "Thank you, Daddy." The word echoed in his chest like a prayer, both beautiful and crushing. For the first time, he admitted the truth to himself. No deal, no merger. No title had ever made him feel the way that single word did. The very next morning, he showed up at the bookstore again. Not in a suit, not in his chauffeur-driven car, but in jeans and a plain t-shirt. Olivia blinked when she saw him stacking books with the twins, laughing, carrying boxes like a regular worker. "You don't have to do all this, Ethan," she said, folding her arms. "I know. he replied softly. But I want to. This is the first time in years I feel like I'm living, not just existing. She studied him for a moment, searching for cracks in his sincerity. But he kept showing up. Every day. Weeks turned into months. Ethan became a steady presence in their lives, helping with homework, attending school plays, even learning how to braid Lily's hair and build Lego towers with Liam. The twins adored him, and slowly Olivia's walls began to crumble. Still, trust wasn't easy. One evening, as they closed up the shop, Olivia spoke the fear that lingered in her heart. What happens if you get tired of this? Of us? What if one day you just walk away again? Ethan's throat tightened. He stepped closer, his voice low and steady. I can't erase what I did, Olivia, and I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But walking away once taught me the most painful lesson: money, success, reputation. They mean nothing without love, without family. If I ever lose this chance again, it won't be because I chose to leave. It'll be because you tell me I haven't earned it. Her eyes softened, tears glistening as she turned away to hide them. The real test came one snowy December evening. The bookstore roof began to leak, and with the holiday rush, bills piled up. Olivia tried to handle it alone, refusing Ethan's financial offers. But one night after the kids went to bed, she broke down. I don't need your money, Ethan, she whispered, tears spilling. I just need to know you won't run when things get hard. Ethan knelt in front of her, taking her hands. Then let me prove it, not with my bank account. He pressed her hand to his chest, but with my heart. Let me stand beside you this time, through everything. It wasn't a grand gesture, no expensive gift, no media headline. It was simply presence, patience, and showing up. That was what changed everything. 2 months later, on a bright spring afternoon, Ethan walked with Olivia and the twins through Central Park. The kids ran ahead, chasing bubbles that floated through the air. Olivia glanced at him, her expression softer than he'd seen in years. You've changed, she said quietly. No, he smiled. I've finally become who I should have been all along. The twins came running back, each grabbing one of Ethan's hands. Lily looked up and asked, Daddy, are you gonna stay forever? Ethan knelt, meeting their innocent eyes. Forever, he said firmly. And longer, if you'll let me.